All right, let's dive into a story that's one part anthropological mystery and one part high-tech genetic detective work. You know, for centuries, this one big question has been hanging over the Japanese islands. Who exactly are the Ainu people?
And right away, you're hit with this paradox that's had historians and scientists scratching their heads for ages. You see, the Ainu are an indigenous people of Japan, mostly from the northern island of Hokkaido. But for a huge chunk of history, they were seen as completely, totally different from the majority Yamato Japanese people.
So, of course, the big question was always, where do they come from? I mean, their language, their culture, even their physical appearance, it all seems so unique, and it sparked all these different theories. But today, and this is the exciting part, thanks to modern science, we can finally start to put the pieces of this ancient puzzle together.
Okay, so to get to the truth, we've first got to look back at where the search even started. And that means wading through some of the old myths and, frankly, the misconceptions that really clouded the picture for a long, long time. And this really shows you the limits of that early science, right? When European and Japanese scholars first met the Ainu back in the 19th century, they basically just focused on what they could see with their own eyes. They saw things like lighter skin, more body hair, and they just jumped to a conclusion that I guess seemed logical to them back then, that the Ainu must be some kind of lost white race, a lost tribe of Caucasians.
But as we know for sure now, that whole theory was completely wrong. I mean, the modern scientific view is crystal clear. You just can't judge someone's ancestry based on how they look. It's like that old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. The real story isn't skin deep, it's written in our DNA, and that's a book we've only just recently learned how to read.
And you know what made things even more confusing? Their language. It's what experts call a language isolate. And what that means is it has no known relatives anywhere. It's not connected to Japanese or Korean or any of the Chinese languages. It just stands alone. So for a long time, this was just another clue that led absolutely nowhere. Another dead end that just made the mystery even deeper.
So, if looking at people was misleading, and their language didn't give us any clues, where did the big breakthrough finally come from? Well, it came from science, from unlocking their unique genetic fingerprint.
See, the answer wasn't hidden away in some dusty old book or in faded photographs. It was right there, hidden in plain sight the whole time, coiled up inside the DNA of the Ainu people themselves. It was time to let genetics take the lead on this one.
And wow, here it is, the answer. When scientists finally analyzed the DNA, they found this incredible breakdown. The vast majority, we're talking about 70% of Ainu ancestry, comes directly from the ancient Jomon people. The other 30% is a mix from other groups. So the really crucial takeaway here is this. The Ainu are not a lost tribe from somewhere else. They are, for the most part, the direct descendants of the very first people to ever live in Japan. I mean, think about that. This discovery changes everything. It completely reframes the Ainu story. They're not outsiders. Their story is the deepest, most ancient story of Japan itself. So if we really want to understand the Ainu, we have to go back and understand their ancestors, the Jomon. So who were the Jomon, anyway? Well, they were essentially Japan's original culture. We're talking about a really sophisticated society of hunter-gatherers who thrived on those islands for thousands and thousands of years. This is way before rice farming showed up, way before the Japan we think of today even existed. And these weren't simple people. They created some of the world's very first pottery and had this incredibly rich and vibrant culture.
This timeline really lays it all out. For an incredibly long time, you just have the Jomon people, these hunter-gatherers, thriving all across Japan. But then, around 900 BC, a new group, the Yayoi, arrives from the Asian continent, and they bring agriculture with them. Now this new Yayoi culture starts to spread, mixing with the Jomon, and eventually they become the main ancestors for most of modern-day Japanese people. But, and this is the key part, way up in the north, the ancestors of the Ainu held on, and they kept a much higher concentration of that original Jomon DNA.
And the evidence for this connection is just so strong. It's not just one thing. Yeah, you've got the DNA proof, where genetic markers from ancient Jomon skeletons are a clear match for the modern Ainu. But on top of that, archaeologists see links in the kinds of tools they made and how they built their settlements. And culturally, you can see these powerful echoes of Jomon beliefs, this idea of seeing spirits in all of nature, reflected in the traditional spirituality of the Ainu people.
Okay, so this isn't just a cool history lesson. This discovery about their ancient past has huge real-world meaning for the Ainu people today, who are in the middle of this incredible fight for a cultural rebirth.
You have to understand, for more than a century, the Ainu people faced terrible discrimination. Back in the Meiji era, the government pushed these policies of forced assimilation. Their language was suppressed, their customs were banned, their land was taken. The fight for any kind of recognition was just so long and so slow. You get a small step forward in 1997, but it really wasn't until 2019, just a few years ago, that Japan finally, officially recognized the Ainu as an indigenous people.
And the damage from that history, it's just devastating. Look at this number. It's so stark. It's estimated that today, there are fewer than 10 native speakers of the Ainu language left in the world. Fewer than 10. That just shows you how terrifyingly close this entire unique culture came to being wiped out completely.
And that is why this genetic proof, this scientific fact of their Jomon ancestry, is so much more than just a fact. It's become this incredibly powerful tool for them. For cultural revitalization, it is undeniable proof of their identity as the original people of that land, and it gives so much weight to their fight to save their language, their traditions, to secure their future.
Which leaves us with this one last, really important question to think about. How does understanding a people's past help us protect their future? Because in the end, proving a people's history isn't just about fixing the history books. It's about validating who they are right now and helping to secure their place in the world for years to come. It's a powerful idea, for sure. Thanks for joining me for this.